So let's talk water activity. The water activity is a measurement of the bound and unbound water within the flower. And so the unbound water is available to go around and do things such as degradation or feed mold. And so we'll use these sponges as an example. Both these sponges are wet. This sponge, when I lift it, no moisture comes from the sponge. This sponge, as I lift it, it drips. And so this sponge has higher water activity. It has more moisture that's available to be given off from the sponge and go and do things such as feed mold. Another analogy or another example would be something like water and ice. This water would be very high water activity. This ice would be lower because while it's still water, the water is not free, it's not being given off, it's bound within this ice. Water activity is measured on a scale of 0 to 1, and it's actually quite similar or can be translated from relative humidity. And so there's different ways of measuring water activity. We use a Keurig typically. You can use a water activity analyzer like an Aqualabs. Some of these meters are $5,000 to $10,000. They're somewhat accurate, but we find we get the most accuracy from this system. So what we'll do is we'll put flour inside of a jar or a container. We make sure we fill it at least half full. This one isn't half full, and this jar is actually too small. We'd fill it at least half full. We would then put the Keurig puck on the container, and we would measure the RH of this chamber at the 24-hour mark. Technically, you're supposed to wait 24 hours, but you can often do it sooner. We can get pretty good numbers within 20 minutes. There's usually a big offing of a big stabilization of the moisture in here. Quite often, the flower will give off one more push of moisture within an hour. That time varies. So if you want to be safe, you'd wait 6 hours. If you want to do it by the book, you'd wait 24 hours. If you want to get a rough idea, within 20 minutes, you can tell what the water activity is. So what will happen is the flower in here will equalize the air in this chamber, and we're going to measure the air. And that air will be a number, it'll be an RH number. Right now, this is 60%. And so an easy way of calculating the water activity is if we have 60% RH, and the scale for water activity is 0 to 1. The way this works is if it's 60% RH after 24 hours, add a decimal place in here, so it becomes 0.60 water activity, which is AW. So if this flower was 62% RH after 24 hours, it would be 0.62 water activity. So it's quite simple when you use RH as a measurement.